Hello friends, welcome to Código Math. In this video, I am going to talk about areas of work. Areas are an option provided by Amadeus to be able to work with multiple windows open at the same time from a single computer. In the login videos, I have already talked briefly about the areas, but today I am going to explain this topic in depth. Before I start talking in depth about the areas, I am going to review what I have already said about them in the login videos. In the first login video, I mentioned that in the graphical access mode, there are 6 boxes at the bottom of the screenshot with the possibility of checking one or more of them depending on the number of areas in which we want to work simultaneously. The area names are A, B, C, D, E, and F. I recommend that you watch that video to better understand what I am going to explain in today's video. Area A is marked by default. Generally, you tend to work with a single area, especially when you are in the testing phase, due to the complexity of moving with several Amadeus open at the same time. However, working with multiple open areas at the same time has a number of advantages. By having several areas open at the same time, we can work with one or more reservations simultaneously, which implies greater speed in the execution of our work. But what I consider the greatest advantage is to use an area with the main reservation and take advantage of the rest of the open areas to be able to view information related to that reservation without having to stop seeing the original PNR while looking for other data that will affect the main PNR. In the second and third videos I made about logging, I also made some mentions of the topic of areas. I also recommend that you briefly review the last 2 videos I made about logging. Now I start with the video I have prepared for you. As I said before, on each computer there are 6 areas of work: A, B, C, D, E, and F. When several agents share a terminal, a computer, it may be the case that each one works independently in one different area. This is in addition to the other utilities and advantages mentioned before about working with several open areas at the same time. When a single agent uses a terminal, that agent has all 6 areas at their disposal. That is usually the most common circumstance. To visualize the situation of all work areas in real time on a specific computer, we must do JD. But before I start with that screenshot and the pages underneath, these 2 underneath, which serve to explain all the data in the screenshot, I am going to go to the 3 pages that are on the right, these 3. The 2 folios above these two have general explanations on how to work with the areas. I consider it a priority to start the explanations on areas with these two pages. Let's go. HEJD, this one, is the transaction that gives access to the help pages that allow you to expand on the information that I am providing in these videos about areas. All area-related content appears with the HEJD plus enter with this. General information about areas. The next one, JIA 0001AA/SU serves to connect to several areas at the same time. After JI, I will start with this one. Excuse me, not this one. This one first. JIA 0001AA/SU. With this one, you can connect to one area. Area A in this case. And now I continue with this one, JIA/B 0001AA/SU. Serves to connect to several areas at the same time. After JI, the areas of interest are written separated by slashes. In this case, they are A and B, both. JI asterisk 0001AA/SU is used to connect to all 6 areas simultaneously. In this case, the only thing we have to write after the JI is an asterisk. JXB, this one, is used to connect to a different area, and JXD is used to copy the sign in to a specific area. JME, this one, is used to switch from one area to another one, and JMB, this one, is used to move between areas. JO, this one, is used to remove the sign in and to disconnect. JOC, this one, serves to disconnect you from one area, which in this case is C. JOC/D, this one, is used to disconnect from several areas in one single entrance. The areas are separated by bars. In this case, the areas are C and D. JO asterisk, the last one, allows you to disconnect from all areas in one single entrance. Now I go to the last page on the right margin, this one, which describes a special situation. If a PNR is displayed before disconnecting from certain area, the system displays the following message: PNR present and or ignore. This is the situation, this is the message. We must ignore the PNR by making IG or end the PNR by making ET. This option and these options we must end or ignore before disconnecting. Now I am going to go back to the folio with the screenshot that shows us the location of the areas on the computer that we are using in real time. This one. To access this screen, you need to do JD plus enter. JD plus enter. JD is used to view this screen. When you do JD plus enter, you will see this screenshot. HEJD, this one, as I said before, is used to view all workspace related information. As I said before, everything I am saying in this video, the screenshot and the rest of the information, like these 5 folios, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything with HEJD. I continue. All the information you see in the screenshot, all is explained in these 2 folios, in the 2 pages below. I will start with the first code. This one, I will use the screenshot like this code, for example, and after you can see the same information here. For example, this is here, this is here, and the rest of the information in the same way, okay? But as I said before, I will start with this 999A 999A. This code identifies the IATA line of the terminal and can be accessed by doing GG Corp codes, as explained in the first video about logging. This code is one of the data that appeared in the screenshot that was accessed by searching for the Office ID in that video. The IATA number is a piece of information that was not important for that explanation of the logging, but that is important in this video, in the areas information. I continue with this code here and here. MAVIB1111 is the Office ID, which can also be found by doing GG Corp codes. Pseudo city NAV, this and this, refers to the pseudonym of the city in which the office is located. Its name is Office City Code, and in this case is MAD, which stands for Madrid. Once I am done with the codes in the first line, once I have finished explaining this line, which appears in the header of the screenshot, I move on to explaining the rest of the information. Now I am going to explain this information, okay? The 11 words that are underlined, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that are underlined are the titles that explain the situation of each of the data affected by the 6 areas that appear in the left margin, A, B, C, D, E, F. It means that everything you will see in each line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, will be explained in each of the 11 titles, okay? About the A, for example, we have 11 things, okay, which explain the situation of area A, for example, in this case. The heading area, this heading, this title, indicates below the name of the 6 areas, the 6 areas that appear in the left margin, the 6. Which can be registered or not registered. If it were registered, it would be appear in. In means that you are registered. If it's not registered, a blank space appears. Blank space, blank space, blank space, blank space, blank space, and blank space, because in the areas B, C, D, E, and F, you are not registered. You are just registered in area A. It means in. The TM title, this one, I am using also this information. Remember to have a look in these 2 folios when I am speaking about this. Now I speak about the TM. TM. The TM title refers to the time elapsed since the last transaction. Sometimes a blank space appears, as in this case. Blank space because there is nothing to speak about, okay? The MOD title, this MOD, refers to the mode of registration. It can be mode of production, which is represented by PRD, like this. It can also be training mode, which is represented by TRN. In this case is PRD. The title SG, this one, which is the acronym for signature, refers to the last 2 characters of the agent code, which was explained in the first video I made about logging. In this case, it's AA because possibly the first letter of the agent's name is A and the first letter of the last name is A. AA. Here you have more information. The title DT, this one, refers to the duty code, which was also explained in the first video I made of the login. There are 3 types of duty codes: SU, GS, and RC. In this case, it's SU for supervisor. The title LG, this one, stands for language and refers to the language in which you are registered. In this case, it's SP for Spanish. SP. The title time, as I said, have a look here in this page, please, refers to the time format used in the system. It can be 24 when the selected format is 24 hours and 12 when the selected format is 12 hours. In this case, it's 24-hour format, 24. In the next 2 titles, it means QCAT and ACTQ, these 2, there will be a common concept called queues. In Amadeus, the letter Q is always linked to the concept of queues. Queues generally refer to information that comes to us daily with important notice in the form of daily mail. In the future, I will make a specific video about queues. Queues have 2 ways of being analyzed. The first way is by the number assigned according to the subject in question. In Amadeus, each type of queue is assigned a number. The second way to analyze queues is by the number of unmanaged queues within each type. QCAT, this one stands for the queue category, and it indicates the identification number of the type of queue that has not been managed. ACTQ, this one, stands for active queues, and it tells us the number of unmanaged queues of the type specified before in QCAT. This information refers to this kind of queues. In this case, a blank space appears below both titles. Blank space in both, because there would be no active queues pending to be managed. The status heading, this one and this one, refers to the current PNR status in that area. It can be signed or unsigned. In this case, it's signed because we are signed. In the others, not signed. In the other 5 areas, not signed. The name title, the last one, this one, refers to the name of the first passenger entered in the PNR. Be careful, because sometimes it's different from the name of the first passenger shown in the system. Folks, we have come to the end of the video. The following videos will run in the same way that I have made. That is, explaining each of the parts of Amadeus as extensively as possible. Remember to subscribe and like this video if you liked these videos. Don't forget to share it with anyone who might be interested. It would be a good gift, both for those who need a booster and for those who didn't get a feel for the program. Above all, it would be a good gift for the latter, who now have a second chance with my videos to take advantage of the time and money allocated in the past, and that they will finally be able to make profitable. Thank you very much, and I will tell you the same thing as always. Love to be loved.